All right, here we go. Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. We have a post-Olympia wrap-up, and I got two great bodybuilders and bodybuilding podcasts and fans with me. We got Ian Hedek from the Ian Hedek YouTube channel. We also got Coach Rich. Coach, what is your podcast again?
My podcast is R2F Podcast.
Okay, both of these guys' links are in the description as we're speaking. And we already got a comment, and the comment is, can't wait to hear what you guys say about the new Mr. Olympia. All right.
Oh, let's talk.
Yeah. So let's get right into it. So I had the honor of being on, I had goddamn allergies. I can't catch a break. Last week I was sick. I'm a fucking mess. Right. I had the honor of being on RxMuscle's panel with me, King Kamali. I dragged Jason Owens with me and Arman Adibi, and we broke it down. And it was honestly an honor. And I was very grateful that he invited me on. It was actually very complimenting that he picked me to come on the channel, because Dave and the whole crew went out to what's up, dude?
Wait, did you know? Now here's the funny thing. You know who Dave interviewed, right?
He interviewed a whole bunch of people. With the Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp. I was like,
yeah. But Dave and his whole crew went out to the Olympia, and he needed people to do the live stream, and he picked me. Xavier, let's invite Xavier. Xavier, do I still have your email? Let's see.
Xavier, what's up?
Yeah, let's see. I don't know if I still have his email. Yeah, we do. I do still have your email, Xavier Willis. There you go. All right. See, dude, you don't know who. Last week it was Lee Priest. This time it's Xavier. You don't know who's going to show up. That's why you got to tune in to my fucking channel. Exactly. Last week it was me and Rich, and Lee Priest bombed the show.
Oh, shit.
Now Xavier popped up. I just invited him. Let's see if he comes in.
All right.
And John Mancini, what's up, guys? What's up, Xavier? Hope all is well. Okay. So I had the honor of going over there, and it was long, but I loved every second of it, because I had never in my life thought I was going to be on a live stream on RxMuscle commentating on bodybuilding with the great King Kamali, Jason Owens, and Arman Adibi. I had never thought in a million years that would be me, but it did. Turned out that all this fucking hard work pays off, right?
Yes, exactly.
That's what happens. Listen, it's not failures, it's delayed gratification.
Yeah.
There you go. Exactly. That's it.
Just Xavier, I'm just heading out. Sorry, brother, I have you in my ears though. How long are you on for today? I might be able to catch you you're near the end. Yeah, man, I don't know. We're just gonna go till we're exhausted. Figure, I don't know. I have no idea. There's no time limit. Whenever we feel like getting off. If we're still on when you get back, yeah, please come on in. Oh, okay. So anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's talk about well, I have a lot of stuff to talk about. Yeah. And we're going to be talking about the Open. I just talked about Classic Physique with EP09. That'll be out tomorrow morning.
Okay.
But we're going to basically talk about the 212 and the Open. Let's start with 212. First of all, Keon was probably the most impressive bodybuilder, period, in my opinion, on that stage, on both Open and 212.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I wouldn't say no. I would say if you're going to do for both Open and 212, no. I would say Martin Fitzwater was the most impressive.
Yeah, he was kind of a surprise, right?
That was more impressive because we all know with Samson, hands down, the most prettiest physique.
Right.
But you could definitely tell he just needed to be Samson shredded, not somebody else.
Yeah. Let's stick to 212. Okay, so we could agree to disagree on that. I was very much impressed with Martin Fitzwater. I thought Clarita did what he had to do. He just, unfortunately, because he had to control his midsection, he had to come down in size a little bit. It's not, it's not that easy. Nope. But he did bring a great package, but he just didn't have the size he normally has, right? Because last year his stomach was distended. I thought 1 and 2 were an amazing 1 and 2 212. Top 212. And I said, and I got a little shit for it, but I still believe it. I said that Keon and Sean I will put up against any 1-2 in 212 history. 202, 212 history.
Oh, okay. I somewhat agree with that. Here's let's play devil's advocate. I'm not sure if you remember when Hadi first came out in 212 when it was I believe it was in Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
He came out, people didn't know who he was. It was like, who is this guy?
Absolutely.
I would like to see a comparison from that 212 with him and Keon. Keon made tremendous improvements.
Or a flex.
Yeah.
With like was it flex wasn't it flex versus David Henry?
That was a good battle. Yes, that was a great battle as well. So it's one of those, you're catching the moment. So I understand that.
Yeah.
It's one of those where you got to say it can go either or. But the battle with Keon and Sean, that was a battle because
it was a battle.
It's fresh in mind.
Sean was the only thing is Sean was outgained by 25 pounds.
Right. Okay. But, you know what? I agree with that.
But we all know.
Yeah.
Sean, we all know Sean. If Sean's only 5'6", he's Mr. Olympia
all day. Yeah, but unfortunately, he's 5'2". You know.
Let's say. Sorry. Okay.
My thing with Keon is I've never seen a more complete bodybuilder, especially in the 212 class.
Okay.
He has no flaws. This year, he had no flaws. He came in good conditioning. I'll even say borderline great conditioning. He has great muscle separation. He poses great. He has a great vacuum. His V taper and his X frame is next to none. His balance and structure, his structure is God-given. You can't do anything about that. That he is God-given.
Yeah.
His from the back, he's missing nothing as well. His hamstrings, his adductors, his calves, his
symmetry is perfect.
His symmetry and his back is so thick and goes all the way down. Like some people have high lat insertions. He doesn't. It's just perfect, you know. So you know, he has very wide shape. He's very wide for a 212 guy. So to me, I know people are going to call me crazy, but even as great as Flex Lewis was, he did not have that God-given structure. And I used to come in shredded. There's no question about that. You know, especially from the back, like Flex Lewis came in shredded.
Yeah.
But from my money, I thought Keon was probably the best 212 champion we've ever seen.
You know what? I'm going to support that for now because I'm looking at all the comparisons from previous 212s, and you hit the nail on the button.
Keon, I thought Kevin English was very overrated.
100%.
David Henry, it was a great. He won a 202, right?
He won 202.
David Henry was a great 202.
Different body types, yeah.
And of course, Flex Lewis was probably set the standard for 212. But Keon, I think, really is just a
new
God-given talent, and he finally showed up shredded, and it showed. So go ahead, Ian.
No, I was gonna say is I would like to see which flex we could pick from.
Yeah,
and put shot for shot.
Oh, I would love to do that. Maybe next time we'll do that.
Yeah, maybe just say, but like, let's pick
a
flex good year. You know, one flex's years.
Yeah,
was Keon this year.
Yeah, he had a good year every year, though. You know, but I'm not taking anything away from Flex. Flex was amazing, and Flex had great shape, but Keon's shape, it's another level. Yes. His shape is another level, and he has no flaw. He has no weaknesses. His only weaknesses was can he come in shape or not. And this
conditioning. If you gave him a little bit, maybe 5% of Sean's conditioning,
right?
Wow.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Now, all right. So let's move on to Clarita. Okay. Now, me and Ian both know Sean relatively well. I moved out here. God, I don't know how long ago. 12 years ago.
Okay.
So he grew up in the town next to me. Ian knows him from the gym. So on and so forth. Great guy, great wife. Really a true champion. I don't think he's done yet. I think he's still got a lot left in the tank. Do I think he could be a Mr. Olympia champion again? I don't know. Yeah. But as far as
let me ask you this: do you think he should change coaches now?
I was gonna say wait till you guys are done and give my put. I was gonna say that. But I got some. Yeah.
I don't think it's necessary. I think he could still go out and do any 212 contest and win. any one of them, with the exception of the Olympia, as long as Keon is still around, right?
Okay.
I think they did exactly what they needed to do, except that he came in big last year, but he had a troubled midsection, and they were like, okay, well, we got to bring the midsection down. You can't do that without losing some size. I mean, we saw that William Bonac too. William Bonac brought his waist down and he lost some size. So I don't think in his case, changing trainers would make a difference. But what do you two guys think?
Go ahead.
Oh, so I was gonna say is that because the one year he was near like 200 something pounds, and so you can definitely tell when he gains weight, especially he gets a lot more muscle. The shape doesn't get as pretty. It changes a lot. So I think he said he weighed like 175.
This show.
This show. I think the year he won so was 2022
with 177
or
2021, right?
2021, he was like 185. And I think that's his number.
Yeah.
Between 180 and 190 seemed like that's his fine line, because when he goes over coming down to 2, it just looks he looks worn out.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I agree. I just don't know if his stomach is going to be that if his waistline is going to be that small at 185 again, because that would tell me that they got down to 175 because they were still having trouble at 185.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know, right? I'm speculating.
Right.
And the reason why I also said that is because with, Matt's been he's always got his guys sliced and diced.
Big time.
Big time. And so far, we've seen Nick twice. And I'm saying that's because he's Matt's guy. And Sean has not missed them. Now, I don't know if Sean missed the mark, or he just got shredded and he just got beat because the guy was just better.
He got beat because the guy was better.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, you guys raised valid points. Now, with Matt, he brought him in, Sean, previous years when he was bigger. He won, but his stomach was a little bit extended and didn't look right. So they told him, bring him down. Now he brought him down. He still lost. So you tried both ways now. So I'm going to play devil's advocate, not blaming a coach. Not
right. No, go ahead.
It's maybe, how about this? You've tried both ways. You can't find a happy medium. Sometimes you need to have a little mixture and change of scenery. You might just to tap into something. Prime example, look, I know we're going a little bit off topic when Samson left Milos. Once he left, his mindset was, if you notice, he was doing more outgoing things. But we'll touch on that. He felt more happier. He felt more at peace.
Yeah.
With Sean, now the problem is he got so diced. Like you said, you're going to lose volume and density. I don't think he can beat Keon again.
I don't think so either.
And so you got to ask yourself, okay, well, I'm going to go for one more because I think they're 2-2. Maybe it'll be a good rivalry. But either you go get big and try the open, or you just say, hey, I can't win the 212, but I'm going to finish off in 212.
Well, I was going to say, sorry, John, to cut you off, but
no,
this is the funny thing. Kurita pokes fun at Keon because he said, oh, that's my son. And he mentioned that jokingly. He's like, oh, yeah, it's my son right here. I was like, oh.
Yeah, kind of like what Schwarzenegger did to Franco Columbu.
Yeah.
He is a child, yeah.
We got it right here. You got a question right here. Look at underneath.
Do you think Keon beat Derek in the open?
No.
Not now. No.
I think he puts another 10 pounds on.
He could.
And he's a fucking force in the open.
The only thing
is, as of right now, he's too small.
You throw Derek, you throw Keon to the open, he will get pushed immediately back.
Yeah, he's just too small. But he puts 10 pounds on, and that's trouble for 10 pounds with that shape and that
could cause damage.
That condition, that's trouble for everybody.
But now we don't know. Look what happened with Sean now. If you put muscle on, could he lose his symmetry and some be extended? So you're playing devil's advocate. Yeah. We don't know. And he just said in the press conference, I'm not going to open.
Yeah, he said for at least the next 3 years. And I don't blame him, man.
Right. You're dominating 212.
Stay there. What is he, like 29?
He's still young. He hasn't
I think he only weighed about 202, right? He only weighed about.
He still has room. I'd stay there.
Sean looks like he has a bubble gut, and given his small height, it doesn't look aesthetic. But he did.
All right, let's see. Keon is a beast. You ain't kidding.
Yeah, he is. He's a beast.
I think Keon could have placed third in the Open this year and won Classic. I don't know. Nah, not in Classic because
not Classic. That's Classic that's a whole different thing.
Too much like a bodybuilder and Classic. I just did a conversation with Kenson from EP09, who's another great bodybuilding channel, and he knows a lot about men's classic physique. And the reason why I had him on is because I'm not a big fan of it, but I wanted to talk about it because their standards
are different,
are completely different.
I'm classic. I can
right. Like I look at classic and I go Brian because he looks more like a bodybuilder to me, but that's not what they're looking at.
No.
They're not. They don't have the same standards. They're not holding the same standards that they do with bodybuilding. So no, I don't think Keon would do well in Classic. I think he would do well in 212 or Open if he puts on some more size.
I'll tell you this. Last note. I'm not sure if you guys watched the Dubai show.
Yeah, what were you saying?
I'm not sure if you watched the Dubai show. That young 21-year-old that Patrick Couture coaches.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that young kid. Yeah.
When he gets into his zone, he can give Sean problems. He can give a lot of problems, and he's only 21.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Sean, like I said, right now, like you paid homage, you've done well.
Yeah,
you guys are coming in now.
So we got a question right here. But so I would say this: is he next CBUM? There's never gonna be another
CBUM.
I agree. I don't think there's going to be anybody as dominant as CBUM for a very, very, very long time. But let's stay on 212. Yeah. See, when I watched the 212, and then Angel Calderon.
I don't believe anybody else. It was a two-man show.
Yeah, absolutely. They were so good at 212 that Angel Calderon was like a distant third, and that's saying something because Angel Calderon is a great bodybuilder, and so is what's his name?
Ashkenani?
No. Who came in fourth? Kieran? What's his name?
Yeah, Baggio. Cairo Baggio?
Right. Kieran, whatever the hell.
Kieran, yeah.
Can't fucking pronounce his name. He was on my show too. He's a great dude.
Yeah.
That's saying something because those two guys are excellent 212 bodybuilders, but they were distant third and fourths. So yeah, I think it was a two-man show all day long. All right, let's see. Thoughts on Andrew Jack. We're gonna get to Andrew Jack, John. We're gonna get into the Open. Keon is going on a run. It is now open, super exciting. Now wide open, which is super exciting. Will we finally see a repeat winner of Samson in the Open division? All right, we're gonna get to the Open.
We'll get to that.
One division at a time, guys.
Do you think Nick? Okay, you know what? Let's just jump in. Everybody seems to want to talk about the Open, so let's just jump right into the Open. Okay,
all right.
Let's go from one down to the number Samson. Samson won, quite frankly, because he was the most complete bodybuilder, period.
Agreed.
That's really my take on it. He came in good enough Samson condition. His weakest shot is his rear double bi, but that improved. But he wins every other shot because he's just, maybe he doesn't beat Hadi from the front shots, but he's comparable to him in the front shot, especially that front double bi. He knows how to pose. He's a great poser. He clearly beats Derek from the front shots. He wins that side chest. He has Mack truck density and is so wide that when he does that side chest, it's just fucking mind blowing. His legs are like Clydesdales. So that's my opinion. I think that's why they gave it to him. This is not the days of Phil and Dorian and Ronnie where you got to knock the champ out. Like you really got to knock him out. It's not like that anymore. You come slipping and somebody else is better, you're losing, period. And both Hadi slipped and Derek slipped.
Big time.
I'll tell you one thing that I noticed about Hadi. I don't know if you noticed, but when he turned to the side, he didn't look like muscles were popping.
No. He
looked very shallow, like flat.
Yeah, I agree.
But then Derek looked like, because he put all that new muscle on, he looked different, and his legs did not look like they were growing.
Like an injury. His legs are downside. They look small. Like something happened, and either they're not saying, but you can tell by the muscle definition in his quad with this front double bi. His spear drop wasn't like last year.
Definitely not.
So obviously something went wrong.
My opinion, I think the reason why Hadi went flat and the reason why Derek's legs went down is because both of them over dieted. They were both trying to come in chiseled. And as we said before, when you try to over diet and come in, you're going to give something up.
Yep.
And in Hottie's case, he was flat, especially like you said, there wasn't really much popping from the side, and the back was flat. With Derek's case, I think he was really trying to bring that front in because everybody was talking about how he has no striations across his chest and shoulders, and he gave up some leg size. And I think that is the major problem. And Samson just had the perfect formula.
Like I said, Samson came in and they're saying, well, he didn't have his glutes weren't deep enough.
Who cares?
It's not a glute show. It's an overall bodybuilding show.
Right.
He improved in the glutes. Yes, he did. He improved in the back. So he made improvements. So you look at the overall package, it was a perfect symmetry package. It was side chest, silhouettes, hamstring, lines were there. He wasn't conditioning. You can see he brought conditioning. So he brought a package to say, now what are you going to say?
Right.
So let me go with this as a reading the question. Mm-hmm. They were tied at prejudging Hottie and Samson,
which I don't understand how. I had Samson winning.
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
Me too. I don't understand how, but you know how the judge does.
Yeah.
Well, actually, one thing I don't like what they did. What's with these 7-man call outs?
Well, you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to change the norm of not having the crowd anticipate. We know it's always a 5-man call out. Let's add 2 more in the mix because we want to see who can slip from the 5th to 3rd or 6th to 4th. That's what they call 7-man call outs.
Yeah, because I personally like a 5-man because then it's
easier. Yes.
It's easier because how can you judge somebody in 5 seconds with 7 people?
Right.
It's like give me my top 5. You already know who my top 5 are.
Right.
Then you get the next group, and then maybe you might see somebody who can slide up. There's somebody slipping, whatever. Mm-hmm. But you got to work on.
Yeah. When I saw the prejudging, my personal opinion was, I thought that you were going to see Hottie come in fuller, and you were going to see Derek come in leaner and harder in the finals. So I was still picking Derek. Because we've seen but again, Phil was a special type of bodybuilder where we've seen Phil be a little off on Friday, and that Saturday night, especially the one where Dexter came in second, people are like, oh, Dexter might take it, and then that Saturday night comes and boom, he blows it out the water.
What happened?
I thought that was going to happen. Once I saw the routine again on the finals, I was like, nah, Samson's going to win this because they didn't make the proper adjustments. I mean, Hottie looked a little better, but he didn't. Still looked a little flat from the back.
His legs did pop though at the second at finals.
Yes, and Derek's legs were still undersized, and he didn't look really much different from the night before. And if you go look at a picture of Derek from this year and Derek from last year, his waist got a little thicker too.
That's what I said with all the new muscle he added.
Exactly. You see the ab and thighs. You can see right when he did the ab and thighs, like something's wrong here. It's
right.
It's not coming in.
He added too much.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, there's no one can say, hey, you know what? Let me put a little muscle on. It just, for his physique, he grew too quickly. And now his body is like, okay, now I'm this big. Now I have to compensate.
1 second, guys. My phone. 1 second.
Okay. Robert, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. It was a blessing being on with King Kamali and Jason Ons and the rest of those guys. Kevin, thank you. Happy Columbus Day. Thank you, Kevin. It's my friend Kevin from India.
Nice.
Let's see. Holy mackerel. Xavier Willis is in the house. Well, yeah, he was, but he's got things to do, so he's not coming on. But thank you, Robert. Let's see. I think Beirut would have been ahead of. I think Beirut would have threw a fucking monkey wrench into the whole thing if he was able to do it, man. There's no question about it. Forget about Nathan.
Isn't this like 3 years in a row with him? He can't come over.
They're not going to give it to him.
That's so sad. That's so sad because he deserves it like nobody's business.
So
forget Nathan Diaz.
I'm not even
I'm not going to comment on Nathan Diaz because he's never going to be there again, and his reasoning for not being there was completely different than a guy like Hottie or Beirut. Okay, Nathan Diaz, unfortunately, has an arrest sheet in the UK, and that's the reason why he can't get to the States. I don't care what he says; that's the God's honest truth. Okay, because James Hollingshead never had a problem. Samson Dowder never had a problem.
Exactly.
Dean White never had a problem.
Who?
Dean White's a 212 bodybuilder. He's never had a problem.
Yeah. Who was the guy that passed away? Jesus Christ. He was on Hostel. What's his name? Sandow. Luke Sandow never had a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
He's the only one with a problem. So it's definitely it's not a visa thing with him. It's definitely his record.
Pass, yeah.
But Babe Ruth came in, it would have been trouble. All right. So now, okay, so Hadi took the second place much better than he did last year.
Yes.
So credit to him.
Mm-hmm.
He had sportsmanship. Now on the flip side, Derek was really upset.
You seen it in his eyes.
He was broken. He was a broken man.
Before you continue with that, did you notice because Samson won, he was happier too?
Oh,
because he has a respect for Samson.
Yeah. For the life of me, I don't know how. People say I'm crazy. I don't know how he's able to train with Hadi and train with the same trainer as Hadi, and that's your number one competition. I don't know how he does it. I would never be able to do that. It's a fake
persona. I don't care what anybody says.
I believe it. Fake. I fully believe it.
I don't think he likes. I won't say in a bad way. I just don't think he feels comfortable in the same atmosphere as Hadi because he gets all the praise and then he gets a little bit of jealous. That's what I think.
But the funny thing is, before we had Hani, we had Chris, Ronnie, Kevin. They all seem like they all trained together.
Yeah.
And just dumped it.
The olden era was the best era. It was true value. Now it's more self-entitlement. So people feel, oh, I'm entitled. I want my own training slot. That's
if I was Derek, I mean, I don't know what kind of contract he's got with Evo Jen, but I would leave Hani and I would go get an Aceto, a Farah, a Boss Outlaw, one of those guys, Matt Jensen, and I would want it us against them. I would not want to be able. I would get up. Because what if now they're both talking about doing the Arnold? Now you got to be coached by Hani again to do the Arnold, and if they both do it, I mean,
you heard also Samson say he's thinking about doing the Arnold.
Yeah, no, and Andrew. Well, I don't blame Sam. Samson gets better with every show, so you might as well keep competing.
But here's the one thing we all love about Samson: he loves bodybuilding.
It's all
passion. There's a difference.
Passion. He's like, I want to be all over the world. You want me to come? He'll show up.
Absolutely. He is the definition of bodybuilding, 100% through and through. Okay, so, and I saw some of the interviews with Derek, with the one with the guy from Australia. I can't remember, from NPC News Online. He was almost in tears. Yeah, he was almost in tears. And I felt for him. But you know what's happening. You know what's unfair right now. Even still, it's Sunday, right? I mean, it's Monday rather, and I guarantee his emotions are still all over the map.
Of course, he's hurt.
He's talking about he doesn't know what he wants to do. Blah blah blah. Give him 2 weeks.
Then you'll see.
And his head will be on straight, and he'll realize that he's still a young man, and he still has a lot left in the tank, and he just has to make some changes, and he'll be back on stage, guaranteed.
What he should do is take a month off and just decompress.
Oh, no question. Go on vacation, spend time with your family, whatever. Listen,
be a dad. That's what you are now. Be a dad.
Yeah.
That's what he should do.
Right. Yes. Let that. Yeah.
In that interview he had with that, I can't remember the female host.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
There, and he's like, I worked so hard from last year. I put in all the work, and I'm disappointed in my package I brought.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that's a dart at the coach.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right. And that's why I said, man, like, I don't know how he could do it. I think you're right. I think it's a facade. I just don't. I kind of feel bad for him, man, because he is a very young man, and he's a great role model. And we were having this conversation. I think he could be a better ambassador to the sport if he has more time as an Olympian. 1 year is not really giving you a lot of time. You really can't do much.
No.
But and that's another thing, because Olympia titles change every year now. You don't have a guy that's the number one guy that everybody wants, to go mainstream. Like I remember when Phil was on WFAN 660. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah, it's a sports radio show in New York. He was on wrestling. I don't know if you remember that. He did a wrestling thing, he probably just needs more time. But if you're going to just shuffle it around all the time, which I agree should be the case, but you're not going to get the same results as an ambassador to the sport.
But you got to think, you got to have these people who want to be bodybuilding, like to love it, like the way Samson does.
Yeah.
He's going to do a lot
you got to want it like that, because knowing like this, if you just have it for the 1 year, you're like, okay, you're just a 1 year wonder.
Right.
But if you have someone like Samson who's won both now, the Arnold title and the Olympia, people see that like, yo, this guy's from here. He's going to Korea. He's going
to be traveling now.
Yeah, he's going to be one of the greats, and it's a lot easier for him to travel too because he lives in the UK, so he could.
That's it.
He can go to Europe, he can go so on and so forth. But anyway, all right. So let's talk about what I thought was the greatest moment when Martin was called forth. When Martin was called forth, I thought that was fantastic because you see this young man who just went in there and did the best he could, and he gets fourth, and he was happy as a pig in shit. You see him when he ran across the stage and it was hugging everybody, and he held up the fourth place medal, and he was jumping up. I thought that was great, man.
But he looked wow. He had a wow.
The future. He should change his name to the future because that's what he is.
I tell you one thing, at the Toronto Pro Show, when I was there, sitting front row, Martin walks by, and I'm like, is that Martin? I didn't have my glasses on. So I'm like, no, I'm going to walk around and see. He's like, what's up? And I looked at him, and I'm like, bro, you don't look real. Like, he was like, his pictures didn't do justice. He had coconut shoulders. So I said, introduce myself, Richard, Classic Physique Pro. I was just talking to your girlfriend backstage, and she's okay. And I said, taking the Olympia as your first year, have fun. And he goes, bro, they haven't seen nothing yet. Like, he already had his mindset. He goes, I'm going to wow them. I'm like, with that mindset, you're going to. And look,
and
he
did.
He did. It was unbelievable. He's trained with Branch. So Branch is already going to get into him like, yo.
Yeah, right.
And like,
he also seems to have changed his lifestyle a little bit.
Yeah, his demeanor is different now. His mindset, he's more.
I think he was, because he was talking out of turn a lot, and he was saying a lot of shit about Nick and about Andrew, and then he got arrested. And I think he finally put it all behind him. Look, man, King Kamali said it the best. He said, if you put good energy out there, you're going to get it back.
Yeah.
And that's finally what I think happened to him. I think he basically said, let me get rid of all this bullshit that I've been doing and concentrate on my career, concentrate on my girlfriend, so on and so forth. And it paid off tremendously. That was the best part of the Olympia to me. When I see a young guy like that and he's happy, to me, that was the best. And I said to King, when we were doing the commenting, I said, how much pussy do you think this kid is going to get after the show? Being 27 and number 4 in the world. I mean, girls are going to be throw themselves out there.
This is what I'm worried about. Good point. This is what I'm worried about now. Not saying I'm not wishing, because you just came forth. Your stock value now is risen.
Oh,
so he's a rookie, and he has a good girlfriend. Alexis, she's a very good girl. So I just hope that his mind still stays the same and stays focused on that lane, because it can
now, if you're him, what show do you do?
He's going back to do Detroit, he said.
Yeah.
But I think he should do an Arnold.
I think he should do the Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah. But regular Arnold or Europe Arnold?
The regular Arnold. If he gets the invite, and he's gonna.
I think he'll get the invite for the regular Arnold. I think it'll be better for him because it's more closer to him in regards to where he's situated, and I think it'd be a better fit for him.
I think also that's a good point, and also momentum.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right? You got to do it. Plus, having now Fouad is a pig in shit right now.
Oh yeah,
he's got first and fourth.
Yeah, I wonder when Samson's what's his name contract is up, because I just picture him like with a big cigar and a pinky ring, and his feet up on Fouad's desk going, well, let's talk numbers here.
It's going to change now. No, we're going to see now.
Sorry. Go ahead. Did you watch the video with Fouad pick up the trophy? Was that?
No.
He says, I felt so bad. He goes, Samson goes, go pick up the trophy. See how it is.
Oh, yeah.
Because you'll never have one.
Yeah, right.
Like joking with him, like. But remember,
let's
see. There's only two Olympians right now who have that gold trophy.
That's right, him and Phil. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Every 10 years, they're gonna buzz out that gold trophy.
Should Good Vito have gotten a special invite? I don't like special invites at all.
No, don't like when Big Randy got it. We were like,
nobody gets a special invite to the fucking NBA playoffs or the.
Hey, Derek got a special invite,
and he won.
He won.
Oh, that's right. But he did win he was a 212 champion though.
I think the reason why they gave it to him because they knew ahead of time, and I think Hadi reached out to them and said, "Listen, he's not making 212. He can't defend his title. He's not making weight."
Yeah.
Because you know what
But he could have went on and did another show. I don't like special invites at all. You got to make it. It's the Olympia. You got to fucking make it.
He did no other shows, so I think they had an idea that they were going to get an invite because you're not making 212. He was 250. How are you going to get to 212 and look good?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so you said besides Martin Fitzwater running through on the stage, I thought also the best part of it was they're getting the rings and representing the Olympia.
Oh, that was great. Yeah. I thought just so you got from UK, I walked across the Mexican border and declared political asylum. Thanks, Dave. Thanks a lot. Fuck. Yeah, Aceto is an amazing coach. Let's see.
Coach,
Mr. John, in 90s, arch rivals Flex Wheeler, Paul Delet, were trained by Charles Glass, mentored and coached by Chuck. Yeah, I get it. It's a different generation. I know all those guys trained together. There was only 1 or 2 coaches back then, man. You know,
that's why there's only 1 or 2 coaches.
Sean Ray trained by himself. Lee Priest didn't have anybody. You go down the list, they didn't have any of these. Now it's more of an individual sport with individual trainers, and let's see. Now it's more of and personally I like it better this way. I would rather be us against them, but that's just me. Okay, so 5th place, Andrew Jack. He looked great.
I'm gonna tell you something. Yeah,
he's just shallow in the hamstrings. And that's it, and that means a lot in the Olympia. He's very shallow in the hamstrings. When he stands front and he does the
he's by himself. Front
he looks amazing.
Yeah, he's Mr. Mr.
Olympia. Yeah,
as soon as he turn around for back, get him.
That's it. And I don't know if he's ever going to be able to make the advancements on his hamstrings.
He can. You know what kills his hamstrings? He doesn't know how to sit on them. He stands all right. If you sit on your hamstrings, they pop more. His posing is Andrew. Love you.
Yeah,
and I call it like it is. Your posing is horrendous.
No, and what's funny is everybody's saying that. The rumor is that he's very stubborn. That he's had a lot of people try to help him. Flex Wheeler, Milos, Jose Raymond.
Out the other.
Yeah. And it kind of showed on stage.
With the music, how he reacted?
With his energy, how he was interacting. He did not seem like a happy camper, even though he came in 5th in the world.
Oh, wait. I think that's because of what happened with Brandy Curry's music. I don't know if you heard about that.
I know they screwed up Andrew.
No, so apparently Brandy Curry's music head was dropping a lot of N-bombs. And then the one profanity that came out with Andrew Jackson said, cut it.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Fuad was saying about that. Okay. He's like, it was, whatever Brandon's music was, and it had enough profanity for them to cut it.
It set the precedent.
It set the precedent for, guess what? If any profanity comes out, we're cutting this off.
Okay.
All right. Other than that, I thought Andrew looked great. I did. I thought he looked fantastic. And still look better than Martin. I think Martin's arms look suspect for oil. Nah, that doesn't matter.
I'll tell you one thing about Outlaw. He doesn't use oil. I talked to him, and his formula. He's very meticulous. He's a Martin
is definitely the better overall bodybuilder than Andrew. Look, Andrew is 6'3". Do you know how difficult it is to fill out that frame? And he's done a good job with it. All right, it's his legs, but you're right. I think if he changes his posing, it'll be a lot different. Okay,
he needs to go to Arnold. Arnold was the one who was like the first real big call bodybuilder.
He's doing the Arnold, right? Andrew Jack.
Yep,
he should.
Yeah. Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate that. Yeah, I wore it because it's Columbus Day. So
yes,
we get one fucking day. So before we go on to
you have San Gennaro, which is really good.
Before we go on to continue with bodybuilding, Rich, I gotta tell you a funny story.
Yeah,
I've known Ian was the first friend I made when I moved to New Jersey. I moved to New Jersey in I think 2011 or the beginning of 2012. I don't remember. Mm-hmm. We used to there was a Powerhouse right by us, and we used to go to Powerhouse, and he was the first friend I made. And for let's say 2011, so that's 13 years. Yeah. So for 13 years, I thought Ian was Dominican. And then he told, and I don't remember how it came up, but he goes, "I'm not Dominican, man. I'm biracial." And I'm like, "Oh shit!" The whole time I thought you were Dominican. I'm sorry.
Now, see, Rich, here's the funny thing. Because we're in the New York area.
Okay, yeah.
first thing they say is Puerto Rico, Dominican, Poppy. I'm like, I'm not your Poppy.
yeah.
Right away. And I'm like, how many Poppies shave their heads and have beards like this?
Yeah.
There's
it's just a mixture of black and white, and it gives you that Hispanic complexion.
I'll be first to say, I thought Hispanics would have first seen
Yeah.
That's the funny thing. If people when they first see me, like either Dominican, Puerto Rican, number 1 and 2, or I'm mixed with black and something,
yeah.
And then the next thing is Hawaiian and Samoan.
Right.
Okay.
I could see that. Yeah. All right. So we covered Andrew Jack. Okay,
No,
Hunter
read the question.
Look at the question. That's a good one.
Hunter Labrada. Hunter came in 6th. Probably the best Hunter we've seen.
Agreed.
But I just don't think he has what it takes to move up into that top elite spot in the 1 through 5.
He was there. He was at one time.
Yeah, but the competition wasn't the same. When Brandon Curry was Mr. Olympia, and everybody's afraid to say this, there are times in Olympia history and bodybuilding history where the talent is weaker than others,
and that was a weak one.
And that was a weak lineup. Yeah. Okay. Another time is during the early 80s, once Arnold left and Mentor left, and so on and so forth. Even the late 70s, when what's his name was Mr. Olympia,
Zane,
Frank Zane, Franco. That was a very weak time in body. Then Lee Haney and Rich Gaspari came along, and it kind of picked up. And another time, which nobody likes to admit, is when Jay Cutler was Mr. Olympia. There was not a lot of talent. No. It was a tremendous amount of talent before Jay was Mr. Olympia with Ronnie, and then there was a lot of talent after Jay with Phil. But during Jay, his prime competition was Victor, which he should have lost to, Branch and Dexter, and a good Dexter beat him, right? And he should have lost to Victor that time. Nobody likes to agree, to say that, but I'm not taking props or any way from any Mr. Olympia. That's just obviously an incredible accomplishment. But during the time when Hunter placed 4th, I believe it was 4th, right? Yeah, it was not the talent pool now is much, much greater than it was then. It was just 100%. I think he was the best Hunter he ever looked. From the back, he looked great, but still not hard enough to keep up with guys like Fitzwater or Samson.
You should be beating Martin. Like,
Derek, right.
You should be beating Martin. And if you're not beating Martin, and not taking nothing away from Martin, he looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
Then you got to really sit down.
Right. And from the front, Hunter just has that abdominal issue where he just doesn't have these great, deep, separated abs. Some people say it's a hernia. Some people say it's a genetic thing. I don't know exactly.
It's something about that because his. I know some people say it's the Audi. His belly button looks weird
shape. Yeah.
Now, who came in 7th? Who was 7th?
Before we go on, you brought up a great point. The year Brandon won, which is 2020, right?
Right.
Weak lineup. Now, here's the curveball. Isn't that the year Kai got an invite? What happened if Kai did that show?
He would have won.
He would have won.
He would have won.
And that was the COVID year.
That was kind of. I remember Kai. Thinking Kai would have won if Dennis Wolf didn't get hurt. I'm thinking to myself, he would have won. Yeah. Sean Roden would have repeated. It's just things happen.
Sorry, go on.
No, that's okay. Who came in? I'm looking now.
Let me go. I was gonna say, let me go with my phone because you have it.
I got it right here. Who came in 7th? 7th was William Bonac. William Bonac made great strides. He really did. I think he's got a couple of years left in the tank. That's about it.
I want to say something about William. Did you notice one epic moment? And we talked about camaraderie back in the days where everybody trained together and support. Did you see when Samson won?
Yes, he jumped on his back.
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
And no one even talked about that. I'm like, that's camaraderie right there.
They must be good, really good friends. There's some video footage. I don't know if you saw it of Samson. There's Samson, Bonac, Samson's wife, and
they're sitting down. Yes,
they're all sitting down, and they're all talking except for Andrew for some reason.
He doesn't talk.
Yeah, apparently not. Let's see now. So
you know what? A lot of people are asking about the Nick question.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. It's by looking at him, how his response and being in the industry, It's an emotional reaction. So what happened to him was, I think he got into an emotional state where he got into emotional eating, either through a relationship went wrong, because Nick is meticulously on his diet. Nick knows he doesn't cheat. So then you gotta ask yourself, what went wrong? Something happened.
Something definitely happened.
And when you get emotional, you eat, your stomach will extend. He just said, fuck it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I hope it's not a health reason. I don't know if it's a private reason. I don't know if it's a personal reason. I don't know if it's a business sponsor thing. I have no idea. I think it's going to come out because too many people are talking about it. I hope, to his sake, if it is something health related, that it's easily taken care of.
But they did blood work. They said they did blood work 10 days out. So my question is, you shouldn't know. You know 3 weeks out where your body stands, because you know that's when compounds start changing, because you got to take out things and remove. So 3 weeks out. So now you're 2 weeks out. The video comes out, him training in a shirt. His cheeks are still puffy. So delts smooth. So what happened here? And you can't say, well, it's bad gear. Matt Jensen, they know where to get good gear from. Come on.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Yeah.
You're with one of the best.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, there's so many ways to test it now. I mean,
exactly. So it's either emotional. I hope it's not health. But like I said, it's something went wrong, because when he sat there, you can tell his demeanor. When he sat there, he was like this.
He was. Yeah, absolutely.
He was wrecked.
But Bonac, I mean, I don't think he's ever going to get up to a number 2 spot in the Olympia. But the way he looked, I think he could. I think he could continue bodybuilding. I think he could definitely win other shows like Arnold Classics, like Arnold Brazil or whatever, New York Pro, anything like that. I think he's got a couple of years left in the tank. I don't think it's necessary for him to retire yet.
No,
he looked great. Okay, this was a gift as far as I'm concerned. Eighth place, Rafael Brandao. He looked like dog shit. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what especially in the finals, dude. There was nothing going on from behind. He had no pop. He had smooth. He had no hamstrings. He had no glutes. I don't know what. He put those pictures out that made him look big as a house. Then he comes out, he's half the size of everybody else, and he just has no pop. And then he was worse in the night show than he was in the pre-judging, especially from behind.
It's like he went flat. It's like something happened.
I don't know what happened. I'm sure he's not, even though.
Good point. I think his body rejected something.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because when your body rejects, it says, hey, hold on to water, and you just get smooth. And even his posing, like you're posing so standing up, you're a bodybuilder. Drop down, sit in the stance. Something wasn't right. See his face.
So it's probably some, for him, whatever diuretic he was using
didn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be right. Although it did move up 2 places from the last time he did the Olympia. So next one. This one's going to be a little tough to talk about as far as I'm concerned. Brandon Curry. You're now coming in 9th. You were the former Mr. Olympia. You came in 4th. He is an older guy. He's got nothing to prove. He's increasingly getting worse as far as placings in the Olympia. I think it's time to ride into the sunset.
I was going to say, it's go. Time to go.
You know what it is, Brandon? I was talking to his wife like last week, and I talked to Brandon maybe 3 weeks ago. We all know when you're prepping for Olympia and you have Abdullah, I talk to him consistently. Abdullah is a coach where he's very meticulous. Brandon, sending you messages 5 months out. You need to get to Kuwait. And when you're not responding to your message from your coach, that's telling me your head is not there. You're not really interested. Like, right. I can do a prep in 10 weeks. You're older now. Your body doesn't change in 10 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 16 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man.
You're older. So what's going on there? And I don't care what anybody says. You can be a great bodybuilder, but if you just don't respond time to train and then you switch coaches, they have to know your body. You can't know someone's body in one show. He didn't look the Brandon we know he can. Yes, he's older, but no definition, no cuts in his quads.
No, definitely not.
So you got to ask yourself, either you're in it or you're out. Make it.
But he has nothing to prove. He's won Arnold Classic.
That's what I'm saying.
He's won the Olympia. He's in the conversation as one of the greats. You're considered a great bodybuilder if you just win an Arnold. This guy won both. So, just enjoy your life. I'm sure that he's very well taken care of as far as money. He has kids. He has children. I'm sure he has business opportunities up the ass. He is Brandon Curry, former Mr. Olympia.
I think he owns that gym in Tennessee.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah.
There you go. That's fantastic. Now, the next guy also that me and Ian know, Akeem Williams.
That was the best Akeem we've seen.
Yeah, that is the best Akeem we've seen. Again, though, in 2019, I believe it was 2019, he came in 6th, but again, a weaker lineup. Okay. Yep. Here he comes in 9th.
9th.
No. Akeem Williams is 10th. Sorry, 10th. 10th.
Better than Brett Hale.
He's I don't know. He had a few years back, maybe three or 4 years back.
Accident.
He had some. That wasn't even an accident. He had some problems with his ex. You know, his girl left him. And,
bang, you're right. Because I remember I sent a message to him. I said, Akeem, you and like, what's going on? Like, I don't see no postage together. He goes, I don't want to get into it, so I left it alone.
Yeah, no.
I see her posting pictures and someone else. I'm like, oh, that's the worst thing to do to a guy right off the bat.
Never. You know, see, this is another thing. This is why I tell people this: you keep your private life private.
Awesome.
Absolutely, 100%.
Because I'm a family man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you keep. If you got a wife, you got kids, they shouldn't be in none of your stuff.
That's right.
I agree.
Because you're tunnel vision on what you need to do.
When you have
outside of this, guess what? Like, I know John for the longest, but guess what? I don't even know about his wife.
Yeah.
My business, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know him.
I've had that. My wife wants nothing to do with this podcast, believe me. Zero.
She's like Summer with Fuad.
Yeah. Rich, funny story, dude. When I first started my podcast, I didn't know what direction I was gonna take. I really wanted a variety show.
Okay.
Which is why I separated. I have 2 podcasts now, which is why I separated, and I just have bodybuilding and an interview channel, right? But I remember when we first started, I told my wife I was going to do it. She doesn't care. She's like, whatever you want. Now, my wife has big boobs because I'm a big boob guy. That's what I'm attracted to, right? So we were watching this reaction video. I said, you got to watch. I said to my wife, you got to watch this. You got to see this. And then we just watch comedians. It was a couple.
Right.
Guy, man, I don't even know if it's still around. I haven't looked them up in a while. Guy and girl, a married couple, and all they did was watch comedians or watch South Park and laugh and comment. They would sit there and drink, and they would have like 50,000 subscribers. And of course, his wife had these giant fucking tits, right? So I showed my wife the video, and I look over at her, and I'm like, and she goes, don't even think about it.
Oh shit!
Don't even. And I was like, all right,
okay.
There goes that idea.
Well, that's like me. Like, okay, so my lady, you know what I'm saying? She she knows I'm gonna stay over here. I know my lane.
Yeah.
Because she knows that this is what I do.
My happy place. So I do my stuff.
Listen, man, if you have a great woman, the sky's the limit. That's the God's honest truth. If you have
Samson, if
you have a bad woman,
problem.
And we've seen it with Akeem, and we've seen it with John De La Rosa. We've seen it with Sergio Oliva Jr. I mean, we've seen a woman come into your life and just destroy them. Destroy them. But on the flip side, if you have a good wife, nothing stops you, man. It's just nothing.
Matter of fact, she will improve your life.
Oh, 100%. There's no question about it. She will be your cheerleader. She will be on your page. She will be your support group.
Yeah.
She, especially when you have a goal, you have a journey you have to go to, right? So like these bodybuilders or whatever the case may be. But you've seen even YouTubers. Xavier went through it.
Yeah.
Bad.
All right. So speaking of this, I'm going to go. This is going to be off subject, but this is about this subject.
All right. Good.
So I got invited to a YouTube event, and it was called Pretty Perfect Lives. Okay. It was literally a off-Broadway show, but about people dealing with real life challenges. And one of them was about the couple's like, oh yeah, thank you so much. We got 5 million subscribers, like that. But then once they turn off the camera, the wife or his girlfriend wanted to continue filming, and she was doing filming too much personal shit.
Yeah.
And then when she did that, all of a sudden, he got uncomfortable.
Well, of course.
And you filmed without my permission even more.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to keep your private life private.
Agreed.
Stop posting shit with your woman. You don't need to post. We know if you got somebody,
that's it.
Good.
You could, yeah.
I never posted anything with my wife or anything like that. Nothing like that.
But now, as we go back, as Arena comes with, Roden have beaten Samson's package this year? That's a good question. Roden
That's a great question, man. I don't know.
I was at that Olympia, and that was the last Roden, and that was the last Roden and Flex Olympia I went to.
Yeah,
Roden took out Phil because he was just in better condition and his muscles.
100%.
Yeah, he was that Olympia. I don't know if Samson could beat that Roden.
That Roden was tough.
That's tough. Yeah,
that's tough. That Roden was impressive. Really impressive.
The only thing is, here's the what if. This is the what if we saw that. Why we didn't see that again?
Yeah,
it's because of that issue that happened.
That's right. And then, of course, he passed away. But you're 100% right. He was. We don't know exactly what happened. I want to use the term "me too'd," but we don't know exactly what happened. But during that time, that was happening to a lot of celebrities, a lot of big time celebrities.
It was
a lot. So, and if you went back and looked at some of the details, you go, okay, I don't know about this. You know where they got the DNA from? From what I remember, they actually got DNA from Roden of saliva on her breast. It wasn't from sperm from
that's what yes,
that's very shaky.
Very shaky.
I don't know any grapists that want to make you feel wonderful. To me, that just doesn't make sense.
All right, so now let's go. Okay, so now number 11.
Okay, Akeem Williams and John De La Rosa. Akeem comes in 10th. De La Rosa comes in 12th. We're gonna get to John Jewett came in 11th, but Akeem and John De La Rosa, pretty much the same generation. What do you think they should do from here on in? Because it looks like this is as good as it gets for them. I hate to say it, because they're both approaching 40.
I think for them, they should be the king of the small shows like Darren Charles did.
That's a good
king of the small shows. Do your hit the 10 grand and keep him. Go to Olympia. Hit your 9 to 12 mark.
Yeah, be the dangerous guy at the New York Pro. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, right?
I mean,
there's nothing wrong with that. They got a lot of life left in the tank. They both probably have a good 2 to 4 years left, but I don't think they're gonna do any more damage at the Olympia.
Now, here's the funny thing. Now there's a couple people who didn't show up,
right?
Like Nick, but also Justin Shire. He won Chicago. How do you think he would have done this lineup?
I don't know. I think honestly,
you have to see him. You have to see him compared, because, like I said,
I'm saying, but now it's like, well, you won the show. Like, why would you not? I mean, I know some people like, oh,
did he win Chicago? No, he won Chicago last year, man.
I thought it was this year.
No, last year.
Last year, Justin Shire won the Chicago. This year, Chicago was
he Spanish?
Was it Tony O'Burton?
No,
because Tony lost New York.
Tony won New York.
No, he lost New York this year.
Didn't Aceto guy win?
Nick won New York this year.
So Tonio came in 3rd. Then he won a show. I want to say it was
Cali.
Chicago. Oh, it might have been Cali. Yeah, it might have been Cali. Yeah. Tonio's going to be dangerous. I don't know if
you heard about this. Samson talked about why he did what he did at the press conference about taking this, for his posing. He's like this. He goes, these press conferences are so boring. I'm going to spice it up. So that's why he took all this stuff and it showed everybody.
Yeah, everything everybody says for a bodybuilder to do wrong, he did, and
he does it all the time. Yeah. But
now,
hey, you can't blame him from also getting a $10,000 check in France 2 weeks prior. No one does that.
Yeah.
If you can get
he got the $10,000 and he got how much money did they give him for the popular, what is it though?
I think it's another 10,000. So you just got 100. You got 600. So wait, let's think about that. We just heard 600,000 for the winner,
and 600
last year was 400.
Yeah, and your bonus from Hostile for winning Olympia. There's a bonus clause.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Fouad goes. He says that Fouad says I got him 5 years ago. I knew this guy would be something.
Yeah,
I mean, he's had a lot of people, and now he's got number 1 and 4 in his crew.
Right. Last guy I want to talk about, John Jewett. He came in 11th, and
I like him.
I like him a lot because he is the picture of hard work.
Yes, epitome of hard work. Knows his body. Self-coached, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
this is himself.
Right. Yeah. And he comes up from 212. He finally wins a show, and he wins a show where the lineup was a little weak, but he's able to come in 11th place here, which is a testament to his hard work, because his physique, he's big, he comes in really hard and grainy, but it's not a pleasing physique.
But he maximizes everything.
Exactly.
It's Nick Walker's physique, but more rounded, more put together, more.
Yeah. I like to give guys their just due when they build their career on hard work, as opposed to just God-given talent, right? And I'm not saying that these guys aren't hard workers, but let me just be specific. Like, for example, a guy like Keon, all right, he has a God-given bodybuilding structure. You know, it's not like he was born to be a bodybuilder, okay? Where a guy like John Jewett has to scratch and claw and drive just to get to where he is for years on end. So I'm kind of happy that he's finally getting his just due, you know?
Here's a monkey wrench for you. Now, let's say I talked to him.
What did Dallas say? Well, you see what read this question.
Would Dallas be contending with Samson or for Olympia?
No.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, listen, I know Dallas died very young. That's a tough one to say.
It's different. I think they're different structures. Like
I don't know what Dallas I mean, look, I know Dallas passed. Justin Compton's another guy that you were like, okay, what would have he done?
Yeah.
There are plenty of guys that left the sport early, whether he passed or whether you could say the same about Luke Sandow, or just walked away for whatever reason. And you're never really going to know the truth.
Exactly. And you look at Samson now, he has the best bodybuilding physique in the last 10 years, in my opinion, in regards to structure-wise and setup.
Over Sean Roden that 1 year?
That's 1 year, Sean Roden.
But still.
That's a rough one.
Sean Roden was...
that's a rough one. I don't know.
It's hard to say because we only see that 1 year, Sean Roden.
But remember, now you said 10 years. That's also, we're talking about the Phil reign.
Well, what year is it? It's 14.
I Phil's a better bodybuilder, but if you look overall balance and symmetry, Samson has that. He like Mio said, he's bodybuilding from head. I
don't think a 100% Phil could loses to a 100% Samson, but I think he's the best since like Big Ramy. Put it that way.
Okay.
You know? Roden is a coin toss whether he's better than Roden, but he's definitely the best since Big Ramy.
All right,
but
so
anyway,
if we went over to let's say Samson versus the last particular winners. Okay, he beats Brandon Curry
easily.
Oh, definitely.
He beats Big Ramy
easy.
Definitely.
Okay, I say the Sean Roden, like you said, toss up.
That'd be a good battle. Yeah.
What we're looking at, Phil.
Which year, Phil?
Now, see, this is the Phil reign. So now you got
Phil of what 18? When did he come? When did he make his comeback? That 1 year
he had a hernia. It wasn't even
18. 11th was his best year. 2011 was his best physique.
I don't think the only person beating 2011 Phil is Ronnie Coleman. Honestly,
but I still don't think we've seen the best Samson yet. To be honest,
it could be. It could very well be. We'll see what happens next year.
Let's see exactly. Next year we'll set the precedent.
But did you also notice both women? Their significant other coach, their champion.
Keon and Samson,
Who Samson and who else?
Keon. His girl coached him.
Oh, really?
He was doing. Patrick is his coach, but his girl does his programming for training. And
really?
Yeah. Patrick is overseas.
That's great. All right. Good.
Yeah, because Patrick is in whatever he's at. But
now we're on that topic. Since we're talking, let's talk about it. Okay. First of all, I'm going to say this that nobody's saying. His wife, Samson's wife, class A woman. Okay.
100%.
And this is where I know what I mean by classy. Everybody was talking shit about her, blah 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 blah. Okay. Samson wins the title. Bob Ciccarella says, I guess it pays off that your wife is a good coach, right? Whatever. He calls his wife out. His wife kisses him, hugs him, holds up the trophy, shows the ring, and then walks away so her husband can have her moment, his moment. Right? I don't know many women that would be able to do that.
They would have stayed there for the limelight.
Yeah.
Great.
Which actually tells me the character on this woman.
She's humble. She's very
She let my husband have his day.
Yep.
And she walked away. Okay.
I've messaged her. She responded. She's such a you can tell she's the type of person. I don't want to be behind the scenes. Let my husband do his thing.
Right.
Good with that. I don't need to be in the limelight because you can tell she's always quiet. She doesn't say nothing. That's what you want. That's true support, Marlena.
That's right. Exactly.
Awesome.
100%. And the other thing is, a lot of people were saying Samson should give Milos his props. Now, here's why I disagree with that. I don't think Samson should give Milos his props because it is, as far as I'm concerned, it is a cardinal sin and an unforgivable sin to talk about somebody's wife in public.
That's where I said it.
On a channel, period. Not only did he talk about his wife, Milos talked about his wife negative on Dennis James's podcast, which is one of the biggest bodybuilding podcasts. To me, that's unforgivable. You don't talk about a man's wife. So no, I don't think he should give Milos his just. If that didn't happen, yeah,
maybe, yes.
But once you do that, once you start talking about family, I'm sorry, man.
Cut off.
Yep. You're done. You're done. What do you think, Ian?
Same way. I mean, I think Milos knew he fucked up. And once
he seemed really nice.
Want to own it first.
Yeah.
He might want to admit to it, but then guess what? She goes, as a classy person, she was like this. I'm holding this up, not you.
Right. Yeah. And she never said anything about it. She doesn't clap back. She just shows her actions speak for her.
1,000%.
And to me, that speaks. That just speaks volumes for a human being. And I'm going to say this again because it really bothers me because I don't think people understand how I don't think people cherish family the way they used to. Okay.
Agreed.
You don't talk about a man's wife.
That's forbidden.
Period. In any way, shape, or form, period. So no, Samson shouldn't have given him any props, and Samson shouldn't have even shaken his hand, and Samson should have just ignored him. And I don't know what happened backstage. Maybe they were nice or so on and so forth, which I'm sure they were. But once you start talking about somebody's wife, somebody's family, that's you don't go there, man.
And especially on a platform where it's a very big platform, know what you're doing. Everyone watches that. And to say that, how can she coach him? She doesn't know what she's doing. She's competed. She sees Samson every single day. So you don't tell me she knows the body when it's changing, what's happening.
She knows his body better than you know.
Yeah. 100%. So when you can take that jab and say, she doesn't know what she's doing, they're not going to do well. And then now, I know we can win all the praise because you put your foot in your mouth now.
Yeah, he probably knew. Because Milos was taking some shit, especially with the Xavier thing too. Yeah. So I think
that really hurt me too.
I think he probably knew that he fucked up on those two instances, and he because he spoke very nicely in all the interviews he did. But yeah, man, that's really where it comes. Now look, Milos, of course, yes, Milos brought Samson.
Yeah,
from top 10 guy to a top 3 guy. There's no question about it. Okay, he did. But he made the cardinal. He created the cardinal sin. He did the cardinal. That's it. Anyway, all right, fellas, that's over an hour.
Let's call one last big thing.
Go ahead.
CBUM retiring.
Oh, forgot about that. Sorry.
Whoa.
CBUM retiring. Listen. As much as we don't want to talk about it, we all know. I mean, I don't understand how his fans are going to go nuts because. I've been at events where he was at, and they were like, they love CBUM. I go, you guys are like 150 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah,
But they love him. And I mean, like how we love bodybuilding, I was like, you guys don't even work out.
Yeah, no, he is. You got to give him credit where credit is due. Okay, I never understood why he was so popular because
I'll tell you a story after why he is.
All right, good. I never understood why he's so popular because when he speaks, he's not motivational.
No.
When he works out, it's not motivational. I never saw a CBUM video working out where it made me want to go run and work out. He is a good ambassador for the sport. He is a good role model, but that's usually not something that stimulates the younger generation. The younger kids usually like controversy and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So I never understood it, but whatever he's doing worked, and he went out with class.
Right.
With that speed, those words that he said with Bob Ciccarello, that was classy and that was sincere. You could tell it was sincere, and he is a great role model. You know, he's a family man now, and more kids should aspire to be like him. There's no question about it.
Before you go, let me just say one last thing. He did say.
Go ahead.
He did say when Fuad and Ian were talking, he goes, he knew something, but nothing like this. And he goes, when he talked about being on stage, he says, my brother Ian. He says, because people forget.
That's right.
That Ian was his coach for the first 3.
Yeah. That's right.
But Ian didn't want to be, I'm Chris's coach. He didn't care. He wanted his own shine, whatever like that. But he put that in the forefront. My brother-in-law got me, did this.
Classy move.
But the one thing he did say was he was tired of that money being only $50,000. And he said, I'm personally going to put money in.
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah, he did say that. Yes.
So now, see, this is my thing. We know how the O is.
Yeah.
We know how the Arnold is. Especially when he's in that lineup. You're telling me y'all raise the O price, y'all can raise their price? Because me personally, call a spade, half the shit nobody's watching. So, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, it's a God's honest truth.
I mean, like when I go to bodybuilding shows, what's the first thing you're walking out of? Figure and bikini.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yep.
You're right. He is bringing the dollars, and you're 100% right.
If you're bringing the dollars in, that bitch better be $100,000.
That's right. You're 100% right. I never really even thought about it. You're 100% right. He brought the dollars, and that's probably the reason why he said that. That you're 100%.
He said that. You could definitely tell.
Yeah.
And then you see what Bob said. Oh, he's got to do Gymshark money.
And then he said, "No, my money." Like
he said, "No, that's my money."
Yeah.
He said, "I'm gonna put like, you don't have to worry about this. I got this."
It's a great move. Yeah, Rich, what were you gonna say?
He's made that industry so much money, being who he is. But I first remember meeting Chris 2015 in the gym, and he's an introvert, very quiet. Doesn't really speak too much. And then skip forward 2016 when Classic Physique came out. So I emailed him and said, Chris, Classic Physique comes out. Let's work together. And he was going to coach me and this and that. And you know what he said to me? He goes, Rich, I like you so much as a friend that I don't want to jeopardize our friendship. I'll help you, but I don't think it's the best for me to coach you, but I'll be there by your side. I think it's a real person humble to do that.
Right.
Number 2, now I had a show, Toronto Pro, where everybody wanted to like bombard him. He was just getting popular with Gymshark, and he sat there. There must have been like 250 people. And he goes, so Ian, I don't want to leave. I want to say hi to everybody. Like, you don't have to, like, just do your thing. He goes, no, I want to. That's different with Chris. He does it for him. Like, it's not about, he's just a passionate person. He cares a lot. He's very down to earth. That's the difference. And when he's training, like you said, it's not, oh my gosh, CBUM's training. It's nothing amazing or spectacular. It's methodical. But when you speak to him on one-on-one and you're around him, the aura he gives off, even I got chills still when I see him. I'm like, buddy, what's wrong with you? You give off an aura like it's a superpower. It's just different.
Yeah. I have my own funny Bumstead story.
Go ahead.
So I show people like when I met Ian, I knew I know a lot of people in the industry and all that stuff. And I took a picture with Chris when he was at MHP.
Oh Jesus!
Wow.
Yeah.
No mustache. And I knew people who were wanting to sign him, but he said he had no personality. Yeah,
that was number one thing. No personality.
Because I know technically Universal Nutrition was about to sign him. And he didn't because he had no personality.
Yep.
Oh wow. Yeah. I remember when you were with Universal.
Yeah, so we're looking at still, I mean, his personality grew a little bit,
but he's still the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very humble. Okay, it's just, I mean, I don't know what he when he get like I said, his following and this following is as funny as hell. He'll get 100,000 and lose 100,000. Don't care. People freaking the fuck out. Oh my God, lost 100,000 people. He's like,
he doesn't care.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, that's something.
He turned down. He'll mention it, and I know through an inside source Dubai Prince offered him to come out and do things for him, and I can't reveal the source. He turned down $2.5 million
to do things or just
to do like a tour.
Okay.
Promoting. He goes, I'll come out there, but I don't want to for guest posing. No, it's okay.
Wow. I don't know. All right, listen, to each his own, man.
You already know. I mean,
he's making money.
Where he's like, I can
2.5 million. I would give you a testicle in a glass jar.
Funny, I give you my soul. I'll give you my soul.
But you know the funny thing is, at the whole entire Olympia thing, watching Dave Palumbo interview Shannon Sharpe and see how big Shannon is compared to Dave Palumbo.
God, that's a big dude. Holy shit!
What are you eating? Like, what's wrong with you? What are you eating?
That's a big motherfucker.
Shannon is like 56.
Yeah, that's
right. And I met Shannon Sharpe this year,
and
I was like, you still playing?
Yeah, he's in great shape. Yeah, that's right. And he's got a good podcast.
But see, Shannon knew all those people.
Yeah,
he wasn't like, yeah, I'm Shannon Sharpe, I'm popular. No, he knew the people. He knew about
he's into that sport.
Yeah.
And because people forget, Shannon Sharpe was a bodybuilder disguised. He was an NFL tight end disguised as a bodybuilder.
Right.
Back then, yeah.
Because guess who he had out there? He had EAS.
Oh my God, yeah, that's right.
EAS was out in Denver.
It's a long fucking time ago. Holy shit.
See, this is how I go back.
Yeah, really? Yeah. Wow.
EAS had Shannon Sharpe, Bill Romanowski, and all of them.
Wow.
Super PACs, the powder super PACs.
Right.
Yeah, remember that? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
so when I watched the interview with Shannon Sharpe with Dave Palumbo, I said, "Oh my God, Dave, you look like so smart."
Right? It's unbelievable.
But
all right, fellas, listen, I got to call it quits.
I had a great time with y'all.
Of course, we'll definitely do it again. I appreciate you guys coming on. Thank you very much. Always. And we will see you guys soon. All right, later.
Later.